Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Vonte. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of topics or reviews, re-reviews, commentaries, whatever the case may be, PayPal is usually the best bet. Or you can join my Patreon. The links are in the info box, either down there or over there, wherever it's at this week. At this time, Vonte has a topic for me. Die Hard 5 versus Rambo 5 versus Indiana Jones 5. And I'm like, I don't like any of them. Die Hard 5, I will admit, when I saw in the theater, I had a good enough time. Maybe at that point, I did not want to hate a Die Hard film. Just believe it, I know people don't believe me, but I actually don't want to hate a film. I want a film to surprise me, because time is fleeting. You don't have much time on this earth, and I want to spend it enjoying it, not being miserable in a film. But, like, Die Hard 5, I tried to trick myself into liking, and did. And then I even got the Blu-ray, and then I'm watching it at home, and I'm sitting there going, this isn't working. Why is this not working? I like Die Hard 4. I know a lot of people do not like that film, but Live Free or Die Hard, I still quite enjoy that movie. Even Justin Long, I enjoy. Timothy Olyphant, yeah, you could have had a better actor as the villain. But I like the spectacle, I like the action, I like Bruce in the film. I even liked Kevin Smith in the film before he went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And yes, I like Justin Long in the movie. But I liked him for the most part as an actor. Die Hard 5, though, Bruce was not on his A game in that film. The script was not on the A game. I think a lot of people said that it reminds him of a generic action film. I can see that fairly well nowadays. Bruce always saying, I'm on vacation. I'm like, no, you're not. You were never on vacation. You went to Russia because your son was in jail. That's not a vacation. That was never a vacation. So when he says it for the fifth time, I'm like, it did make sense the first time he said it, let alone the fifth time he said it. The villains aren't much. The direction at times is too sporadic, because I don't think that guy's the best director. He also did the Max Payne movie with Marty Mark and his Funky Bunch. He screwed that up too. I like Beyond Enemy Lines with Owen Wilson. That's like the only film he directed that I liked. But I mean, if I try to review each of these three and then go into it, this would be like a 30-40 minute video. So, I will say this. If you put a gun to my head and said which I would rather watch, I honestly would say Die Hard 5. And here's why. I have more issues with Indiana Jones 5 and Rambo 5. Because Die Hard 5, I know it's going to sound stupid. It's the least insulting of the three to me. Now, granted, I get it. You just say, well, it insults John McClane because it's a subpar film. Or most would say, just a crap film. I get that. But when I look at Rambo 5 and I see how it ruins the ending of Rambo 4, which I thought was the perfect ending for Rambo. Plus, Rambo is literally one of my favorite characters of all time. I love John McClane, don't get me wrong, but Rambo, along with the Ninja Turtle Raphael, they're two of my favorite characters of all time. That's why it's part of my username. Rambo 4, saw it in the theater, great experience, great ending. He came home. The ending was the beginning of First Blood. Full circle. He's going home. His war is over. He's not on the run anymore. He's going to see maybe his dad, if his dad is still alive. We don't even know, but he's going there. And then Rambo 5, they ruin it. And for what? for no good purpose other than Stallone wanted the movie in the theater. As much as I love Stallone, I've seen enough interviews, enough of the guy. He seems like a, I like the guy. I do. I really like the guy. So call it tough love. But the guy does have an ego where he doesn't like that his films were going direct to video. He doesn't like that he was going direct to video, direct to streaming. Films like Estate Plan 2, Estate Plan 3, Bat Trace. He needed a film in the theater that would hopefully get him on track for box office. Rambo put that character in the theater, and it didn't work out. Because Rambo 5 came out, didn't do the best. I would say nowadays it's pretty forgotten, pretty forgettable. And what happens at the end? Granted, he doesn't die, which I know there's an ending where he did die, of course, just like Rocky 5 ending where he would have died. But he's shot, he's alone, he's on the run, I'm guessing, because sooner or later people don't find that, all the explosions, the 50 dead bodies, and they don't want to, what's on the mailbox? Rambo. Let's find this guy. So he's going to be on the run. So his war is not over. His home is now done. Finito. And how is that a good ending for Rambo? Stallone? You had a good ending for Rambo. You ruined it. Now he's on the run. Probably the cops going to chase him or whatever. Go somewhere in hiding. No happiness. And I know, Stallone, you think that is a good possibility because that's why you didn't want him to die in First Blood. Because you said that'd be a bad take on war veterans that, well, the only way they can end it is die. I'll ask you the question, Stallone. Is the only way Rambo, a veteran, can end is if they're on the run? They can't live a life and be happy? Like you had at Rambo 4? Now, granted, there's a lot of other issues I had with Rambo 5, but I looked at the core of the character and the story, and while, in my opinion, Die Hard 5 is a subpar John McClane journey. But I looked at the character at the end of the film, at least depending which cut you see. The one I saw in theaters, which is on the... There's 2 cuts on the Blu-ray. He's with his son, he's with his daughter, he's smiling, they're a family. The only thing that would have been better is Bonnie Bedelia was there. Okay, that's cool. Movie isn't that good, but that's what I mean by harmless in my mind, compared to like what happened to Han Solo. What happened to Captain Kirk? What happened to Ellen Ripley? What happened to a lot of other characters? Because if you like the films, that's the way I look at it. I get invested in the characters. It's like I want them to win. I want them to survive. I want the characters to have a good life. That's kind of one of the purposes of these type of movies, is that you get invested. You like the characters. You care about them. Same with Indiana Jones 5. To have him be this sad sack, drunk, Marion divorced him, his son, Shia LaBeouf, died in the war. He's too old, so he's forced to retire. And then by the end of the film, which I guarantee you was reshot, I guarantee you, I bet every penny I had, the ending they had was not what was originally going to be. Originally, I guarantee you, when he went back in time, he was going to be there, he was going to die there, and he watches history unfold as he's watching, and he slips away and dies. Because at that point, he had nothing to live for. Marion had left him. His father, Sean Connery, he died. He had no job. His son died. But he gets to witness history firsthand. And then some people would have praised it. It's so artsy, fartsy, it's so, And instead, you could tell they just wishy-wash it. He gets knocked out. They go back. Marion is there. And I'm like, this is just a half-assed, half-baked version of the ending in Indiana Jones 4, which I like that film. I think that ending is great. That's the perfect ending for Indiana Jones, that ending. Where he gets married to Marion, the girl we had the first movie. Karen Allen, sweet, wonderful. You think he's going to be the pass of the torch? And he's like, give me that hat. It's my hat. No pass of the torch shit. Walks away. I like Shia LaBeouf in Indy 4. Sorry, people. I liked him in the movie. So, Rambo 5 and Indy 5, they ruined the good endings as well as the shitload of other problems I had with them. But they ruined the endings of the previous one. Here, doesn't ruin the ending of Die Hard 4. It's just an inconsequential movie. That's what I mean by harmless. And that's why I put Die Hard 5 above, because I would also say Die Hard 5 probably has some of the better set pieces compared to Rambo 5 and Indy 5. I know people are like, well, what about the ending of Rambo 5? I'll get to that. But I just meant like throughout the whole film. I'm not talking about one scene. I'm talking about throughout the whole film. Because while the car chase scene, I don't like the way it's edited. I could tell that there's a lot of like practical destruction going on. I just think it should have been edited a lot better. The finale at Chernobyl, there's some good practical where the helicopter blades is crashing through, destroying everything. You see the actor playing John McClane's son, or I don't know, maybe it was the stuntman playing it, running. You see his back running as these blades are destroying everything. Like, that's a good looking shot. So I do think some of the action sequences look decent on a practical level, as in some budget. It felt like a bigger movie compared to the others. And John McClane, I would say, is not a loser in the film. It's not his A game. I think he was given some lame dialogue, but I don't think it doesn't look like they made John McClane a loser, like Indiana Jones looked like in Part 5. Yeah, to me, it is the least insulting of the three. Again, the Vonte fast cuts, the dialogue being lazy, the villains not being that, especially compared to Alan Rickman and Jeremy Irons, definitely not up to par. But it's one of those I could watch and be like, but I'm not ready to blow my head off in anger. It's like, okay. Yeah, I can't believe I keep forgetting his name. The guy who played his son, he was also in Terminator Genesis. I didn't mind his performance. Let's say I did not mind his performance as John McClane's son. I think there's a couple of good moments they share with each other, father and son like. There are a couple moments that did make me chuckle and smirk. Looks like you've done this before. Don't encourage him. And Bruce has a little smile on his face. It's definitely not up to par with the first four. But like I said, if I pop in, I'm like, it's not good. It's even more depressing that that's the last Die Hard film that Bruce Willis did because of his affliction now. But compared to like Rambo 5, I'll give you the finale has some good gore. There's also a lot of CG gore. Right, Rambo 4 had CG gore, but there were a couple. It felt like there were a couple more moments of practical splat, like the throat rip, among other stuff. But like Rambo 5, another thing that bothered me was it didn't feel like a Rambo film. Like the character didn't seem like Rambo at all. And maybe because Rambo is one of my favorite characters, and I'm watching him going, this ain't Rambo. He doesn't look like Rambo. He doesn't talk like Rambo. He doesn't sound like Rambo. He talks more in this film than he does in the first 4 Rambo films combined. If you take all the dialogue, like, if someone somehow could do this, take all the dialogue in the first 4 Rambo films, count how many lines he has, then count how many lines he has in this one, I think they'd be at least even. Like, the first 4 combined and this film, maybe even. Rambo 5 maybe a bit more. He's a mortar mouth in this one. And it's not his daughter, but it's supposed to be like his daughter. But, I hated that character. She was an idiot. She was a moron. She was a putz. She got herself in stupid situations and then got herself killed because she's an idiot. The whole Mexico plot. At least, okay, Chernobyl, I don't mind that location as an idea for a Die Hard film. Because, okay, it's unique. Chernobyl. Mexico was like a wannabe Taken film. And the action scenes before the finale, I didn't give a rat's ass about. I know people talk about, well, what about what he does to the guy's neck? I just noted, like, awkward CG of the stuff on the guy's neck. The hammer scene, people talk about the hammer scene. The hammer scene didn't do anything for me. I did, maybe because I'm just noticing all the CG. Which, I know people say, well, what about Rambo 4? I can't help it. It just bothered me more in this one. Maybe just the idea, Rambo with a bow and arrow and people fall into mines and then ripping throats out. Just got me a bit more into it. And plus I was into the lines of dialogue that Rambo was saying. Live for nothing or die for something. Your call. When you're pushed, killing's easy as breathing. I didn't give a crap about any of the dialogue in Rambo 5. Didn't give a crap about the hammer scene. The finale, I will admit, there's a couple of, like, fun kills. As in, Rambo is Jason Voorhees. But also, like, the rest of the film I was bugged by. So, okay, am I here to watch a scene or am I here to watch a film? Let me put it that way. Am I here to watch a scene or am I here to watch a full film? I'm here to watch a full film, and I don't like what they did to the ending of Rambo 4. I think the villain sucks. I think the story sucks. I think the daughter, well, I keep saying daughter, but whatever the hell, the daughter, but it's not. I think she sucked. Rambo didn't feel like Rambo. When he goes to Mexico to rescue her, he has no strategy. I'm like, did these people see the other Rambo films? Did you see First Blood when he was in the woods and he took out the cops one by one? Did you see Rambo 2 when he was hiding in the mud and stabbed the guy? Did you see Rambo 3 when he's in the caves picking people off one by one? Did you guys see the other films? Did ya? Even Rambo 4 when him and the mercenaries are... It's the raining and he sneaks in and grabs the guy, rips his neck out and, gets the girl and they sneak off. Did you see that he could actually be sneaky and stealthy? Or do you guys just forget that? He just walks in and then gets his ass beat and half dead. And I'm like, really? These guys are going to halfway kill Rambo? These guys? These jamotes? These fools? These pansies? It's only because Stallone's character acted like a fucking moron. For no reason other than crap editing. Crap storytelling. Crap storytelling. Crap. And they try to say because of his PTSD, whatever. He was supposed to be over that in Rambo 4. That was one of the whole damn reasons to go home. That's why he looked down the road. It's been a long road. Long journey. Now he's back to having PTSD again. He was having nightmares in Rambo 4. The whole point is that he did all this and he saved these people and it's time to go home. Nope, not anymore. In fact, he had enough time and money and whatever the hell to dig tunnels the size of a couple football fields. Which I can't help it, that just bothered me. Like, wait. He either hired a bunch of people or he himself dug like all these damn tunnels? I can't help it, that's just hard for me to fathom logically. Just in a physical way. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then why is he having music play? The Doors. Again, when the fuck was Rambo the type of guy that's like, I'm gonna have a soundtrack play while I kill people? What? Who the fuck is this character? Is it not Rambo? Again, never, I'm gonna have a soundtrack play while I kill all you fools. I mean, you just say maybe the music drowns out any noise that he would make, so that's a piece of strategy. That's the only way I could give some leeway on that, to be fair. Then I wasn't even that gung-ho about the song. I mean, I don't mind the Doors, but that's not my favorite song from the Doors. And that's the thing, like, I remember when this film was announced, I went, why are we making another Rambo film, Sly? Why? I know why, because you want to film in theaters, because you're mad that, again, your films are going direct to video. So pull out a character from your backlog, out of your ass again. And then Indiana Jones 5, you just see Indy sad, decrepit. And then Phoebe Waller-Bridge. The less said about her, the better. How you tell like they wanted to make her a replacement for Indiana Jones, and how she could do this, she could do that. We're supposed to like the character. She literally leaves Indiana Jones to die in like the school, the library. Yeah, I think they even locked the place. Indiana Jones like 105 years old, and you leave him to die. And the action scenes sucked badly in that. And people thought there was CG used in the Indy 4. That was double the usage of the Indy 5. Even the whole opening with the young Indiana Jones and the wonky CG phase, but then he has the voice of a 200-year-old Harrison Ford. I'm like, okay, you're seeing a young Indy, but you hear an old-ass Indy. And again, CGI up the wazoo was distracting. I don't think any of the action scenes work. Antonio Banderas was wasted. He was there for 5 minutes, then he gets killed. The Marion Karen Allen ending is not earned. Because that's not what they're... You could tell that wasn't their plan all along. I don't like they kill Shia LaBeouf's character off. You think he's bad. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is a hell of a lot worse. She's annoying. And then her wannabe short round kid. You ain't short round, alright? That character's a turd in the wind. I'll kick you through a field goal. And then Indiana Jones becomes a damsel in distress at the end. He gets tied up, put on a plane. Phoebe Waller-Bridge has to go save him. And even the MacGuffin is such a boring-ass MacGuffin. Time travel. Yes, the alien stuff worked a lot better for me in Part 4. Especially when you see all these programs, Ancient Aliens, all this stuff. There's that meme with the guy with the weird hair. That I got more into, even in an archaeology sense, than the time travel BS. Which I found funny, like, they go back in time and the bad guys like have these heavy machine guns killing all these guys. Yeah, that don't change history. People find all these bullets and crash planes and stuff. I just, lame MacGuffin, ruining the ending of Indy 4, crap action scenes, overusage of CG, hated it. So, I hate Indy 5. I hate Rambo 5. I just don't like Die Hard 5. I do think it sucks. But I could watch it more than Rambo and Indy 5. And then you're asking which is the worst of these three? Rambo 5 pisses me off the most because, like, technically Indy 5 is the worst made. Technically, Indy 5 is the worst made, is the worst written, is the worst. The message, the force of that in. Because Kathleen Kennedy is a dumb fuck. And Disney is a dumb shit. So Indiana Jones 5 is technically the worst of the three. But Rambo 5 makes me more mad because Rambo's one of my favorite characters and I can't help it. I'm too passionate about the character. It's like Ninja Turtles. Rambo, Ninja Turtles, I'm too passionate about those. And, Aliens, that's why I hate Alien 3 so much. Too passionate about them. Because they're some of my favorite things. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Take care, and that's the best I could do. Funny enough, I said all this. Now I kind of want to rewatch Die Hard 5. Just because I haven't seen that, since I got the Blu-ray. So I kind of want to rewatch Die Hard 5. Maybe someday I will. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.